Welcome to Jamaica Magazine, the show that keeps you informed, inspired and in tune with life across our beautiful island. From government initiatives to stories of everyday Jamaicans making a difference, we've got it all right here. I'm Adrian Atkinson. Stay tuned.
I wonder who that somebody be. No, sir. Let me look for my glasses. Oh, that somebody look like right, sir.
It's Lottie, what go on?
Me glad to see you, right? Although things never go on for you, America, me glad to see you there.
Yes.
Lift your head high.
Yes.
Stay out of trouble.
Yes.
And you can have a fresh start back home.
All right, Miss Dickie. Thanks, you hear?
Let's all work together for a fresh start back home.
This message is brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
Good day, I'm Lisa Rowe and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, June 4, 2025. Government will be spending over $2.8 billion on flood management interventions, including repairs and enhancement to the National Gully Network this fiscal year. This was announced by the Minister with Responsibility for Works, Robert Morgan, during his sectoral debate presentation in Parliament yesterday. He revealed that $825 million would be spent on river training works to redirect and stabilize water flow, rehabilitation of heavily eroded gullies, and critical upgrades to the country's drainage systems.
These measures are aimed to safeguard communities, protect critical infrastructure, and this is part of the government's commitment to ensure that we are ready for any disaster.
The larger portion of the allocation, approximately $2 billion, is earmarked for comprehensive repairs and enhancements to the National Gully Network.
A significant portion of these funds will be directed towards the Sandy Gully and its tributaries. Not many people realize, but the Sandy Gully is not one gully. It's an entire network of a drainage system that ensures that Kingston does not flood. A significant portion of the funds also will be dedicated to the North and South Gully in St. James. These improvements are not only critical to flood control, but also for public health and urban development, protecting vulnerable communities and ensuring a sustainable future for Jamaicans.
Almost 1,800 Jamaicans had their criminal records expunged in the last fiscal year, opening up new doors of opportunities to fully reintegrate into society. These were from 2,500 applications received in the 2024-2025 fiscal year. The update was given by the Minister of Justice, Delroy Chuck, during his sectoral presentation in Parliament yesterday.
We need to give people a second chance. Many of them are out there, can't get work, can't travel, and we need to look at that. Successful expungement applicants benefit from having a conviction removed from their criminal records. Since 2016, more than 7,000 expungement applications have been approved, out of a total of almost 11,000 for this justice service, which is always in high demand.
He says the ministry is making systemic changes to facilitate the transformation of more Jamaican lives through the expungement program. To that end, the ministry recently employed and assigned 2 officers to the Criminal Records Office to assist with locating records for expungement applicants.
The real problem was that we were not getting the CRO reports on time. We have now decided to appoint 2 persons, pay 2 persons to work in the CRO, appointed by the CRO office, and we pay them. So persons no longer have to wait too long for their applications to be considered. And so, Madam Speaker, over the past 6 months or so, we have completed over 2,000 backlog applications.
The Tollgate Health Center in Clarendon is now officially reopened after receiving a much-needed upgrade, creating a more comfortable environment for staff and patients. This was done under the Ministry of Health and Wellness's Operation Refresh program, with financing through the National Health Fund, NHF. Renovations to the facility, including the addition of air conditioning units, repainting, new bathrooms, new windows, and reinforced concrete slab floor with tiled finish.
We are refreshing, upgrading, improving our health centers, community health centers, to highlight their importance to the health and wellness of people living in their communities. A very simple philosophy, because if we take care of you in your community, chances are you don't need to go to the hospital.
The health minister says he hopes to have a rainwater harvesting and storage system, as well as a power generator, in place at the facility to make it more resilient. Up to 20,000 residents from various communities access the center for a range of health services, such as antenatal and postnatal care, family planning, pap smear, child health, and immunization services. Minister Tufton encourages health workers to provide compassionate care as they deliver the service to patients.
We are going to have to ensure that on top of the new infrastructure that we put in, has to come the quality of service. And service starts with a smile. It starts at the gate. It starts with the common courtesies of good morning and good evening. How can I help you? Listening to people, showing empathy when they express their distress, because all of that is a part of therapy.
In other health news, major infrastructure works are currently underway at the Mapen Hospital to ease congestion, improve safety, and enhance service delivery. Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Christopher Tufton, says the improvements are increasing the hospital's capacity to meet the growing demand from population expansion in Clarendon and neighboring parishes. Among the key works in progress are upgrades to the emergency driveway and staff parking, which are part of a broader car park relocation effort. 2 new car parks have been constructed at a cost of approximately $180 million.
It will create a more orderly environment where you have the security of the perimeter fence, more orderly parking, and the emergency driveway for those who require emergency.
The original car park is to become the site of a proposed outpatient specialist clinic, which is awaiting cabinet approval.
I'm hoping over the next week or so, subject to cabinet's approval, is a $600 million plus award of a contract to build a new outpatient specialist clinic. This will mean adding some additional services, specialist services, in a new facility that will provide for both patients and doctors and their support teams to provide services to the expanding demand here at the hospital.
Work is also progressing on the hospital's perimeter wall, which is being carried out in phases to enhance the security of the facility. The minister also mentioned plans to expand bed capacity through a proposed $25 million investment, as well as efforts to strengthen staffing. And finally, Jamaica and the Dominican Republic have taken a major step in strengthening bilateral relations with the signing of a parliamentary friendship agreement aimed at deepening legislative cooperation and democratic engagement. The milestone agreement was signed on May 28 in Santo Domingo by Jamaica's Senate President Thomas Tavares Finson and his Dominican counterpart, Senator the Honorable Ricardo de los Santos. The agreement commits both countries to strengthening interparliamentary dialogue, legislative cooperation, and shared democratic and development goals. It also establishes a framework for regular communication and cooperation between both parliaments, encouraging the exchange of best practices and legislative strategies. During his official visit, Senator Tavares Finson also met with key figures, including the president of the Dominican Chamber of Deputies. Talks covered pressing regional issues such as climate change, migration, and democratic resilience. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Lisa Rowe. Thanks for watching.
While the city sleeps, they're up and about. Ever wondered who keeps our streets clean while we sleep? In the upcoming feature titled Street Fairies, we take you behind the scenes with the hard-working and committed sanitation workers of the NSWMA.
Once upon a time, in a land far away from a fairy tale, were a people who lived the way you and I do, but a little differently. Much like the shoemaker and the elves, these street fairies don't leave beautiful pairs of shoes behind, but their art shares some similarities, and it's nonetheless worthy of recognition.
Good night, Dana Anderson, shovel user, shovel and jump, clean up Jamaica.
I'm working in the company 8 years now. I like the job, keep the place tidy and clean.
They always say to me, say, this is not a woman's work, but a woman has to do what a woman has to do, eh? You have to work for yours, eh? Nobody ain't gonna give you nothing, so you have to work for it.
Yeah, enough of the woman work hard and plenty of the man them. I get used to my work still, so I don't feel no different from the man them. At the end of the day, I will bread where I work for. So any work for woman. Woman do man work nowadays.
I'm all right with my work. Yeah, I can provide for myself, my nephew, my niece, my child. She don't really like me out here, you know. She rather me dead with she, but I have to make ends meet. I have to work, I have to pay my bills them. But they don't give me nothing, I have to work my own. But people that see me and want to style me and this, because I try to chuck work, I do and them things there. But I don't really watch my face. Because I know, say, when my money enough, you see me?
I want to burn fire upon this whole foolishness that people talk from time to time about. If they don't litter, people don't get work.
Yeah, that's what them say my time. But them can do better still. Plenty of them can do better still.
Enough of them like we, and enough don't like we, because sometimes we have to do with all the truck like all that, so now them say, you move from here, so you don't thinking truck and them things, but we don't care about that. That's our work.
When you litter, you waste the resource of your country. You make life more difficult for yourself and your fellow men. And you destroy the aesthetic, the beauty of our country that we boast about so much.
We are cleaning up Jamaica. And without cleaning up not Jamaica, wiper, disease and germs are broke out. So everybody who work with solid waste, important people them. All are important.
Differently from the sweeper them, we don't like the garbage bag up and we go through it more easier for it. More time we come out and have to wait on the sweeper them like on the just seat right now. We have to wait till the street sweep up, but if it bag up, it's more easier for it.
Just the fact that you are generating solid waste, I ask you to just take some time to package it properly so that it gives us more ease of cleaning. And it also helps the side men, side women. They are human beings too. Their job is already very difficult. Don't make it more difficult for them by giving them extra work to do. It is very tough on them. The job is difficult. You know, it's not just about lifting things put in a truck, but some of the things they encounter out here. Bags with human feces. That's common occurrence, especially in the market district. The smell of urine is everywhere, and it's in the solid waste that they're picking up. All sorts of meat cuttings, fish bone, fish back, fish gut. Just about anything that people don't want, and they have to pick it up. They have to face it.
A certain time at the night, when we reach certain hours at the night, like 3:30, 4 o'clock, gunman can strike and we have to run left the garbage some of the time and all them things then. And come back around and take it up see because we cannot leave it. See me, we cannot leave it. And we don't like them keep Jamaica beauty and clean.
Well, I stay out of them way and I'm not really go for them though, I still think them happen, you know. I just stay by myself, each time I look a corner.
And yet, despite the tough nature of the job, these people show up not just for work, but they show up and work.
We're backbone of the company, you know. Who clean the rubbish and my backbone, we're the most important people in the company. And we clean up work, enough mess and good rubbish, bad rubbish, all different kind of rubbish.
I believe deep in my heart that if you talk about heroes and heroines, our sidemen and sidewomen are right up there with any because of the human service that they provide and in very tough circumstances to keep Jamaica clean. Day after day, night after night, they are out and about, they roll up the sleeve, and notwithstanding all that they have to face, their head is down and they are going relentlessly in pursuit of that clean Jamaica. I laud them. I lift my hat to them. They are good people. I just hope that more and more people will see them for who they are. People who are there to safeguard the health of the nation. They are the NSWMA. Without them, we are nothing.
Yeah, I love my work. I love it. I love clean the shovel.
I really get me use a night time
And as sunbeams break the night sky and the stars and moon bid their goodbye, the city smiles.
BGLC, the regulatory body. We regulate, you play without worry. We regulate, you play. BGLC, fair play when you play. For the fun of the game, you know we're there. BGLC, keep it fair for the player. You play the game and we are the rules setter. Keep everything fair so the game play better. The Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission. We ensure fairness, integrity and responsible gaming practices. Keep the game fair and fun for everyone. We regulate, you play.
The Overseas Examinations Commission is stepping boldly into the future with a brand new facility and an even stronger commitment to service excellence. Up next, we explore how the OEC is transforming both its space and its impact on education in Jamaica.
Since 1887, the Overseas Examinations Commission has been a standard bearer in the administering of assessments which would see takers moving to the next level. The Commission also provides attending services such as supervisors and invigilators, document certification, and digital papers. All these services were executed in a building that has stood the test of time. But as the days march on, and the demand for OEC services increase, the time has come for a building that will meet the needs of 21st century learners.
The project is really about a rebirth of the organization. The architectural style you're talking about really, I think, refers to the old structure that is being replaced and to some extent the existing head office, which is kind of the front part of the building. The old structure is going to be completely demolished and it's going to be replaced with a 4 or 5 story structure that is going to be linked to the old building. Now, while there are going to be some functionality that perhaps looks the same, from an ergonomic perspective, it's not really so much about maintaining the architectural history of the entire complex. It's now about modernizing and actually improving on how the space is used. I believe construction should start sometime in around May, June, the latest, and it's slated to finish before the tail end of 2025. There's going to be, I think perhaps maybe a first in Jamaica, virtual reality and augmented reality lab, which really kind of enhances how the younger generation will be able to look at technology, to perhaps touch and feel it, not necessarily in a real way, but it gives more exposure in a digital world than they currently have access to. You're going to have more labs, there are going to be virtual classrooms, there's going to be actually a space reserved on the building for the CXC Secretariat. But it's really an expansion and modernization of the facilities and the spaces that are currently available for use. So it's about enhancing the existing operations and doing a lot more than is currently being done with a major focus on digital transformation.
Most persons would know about Professor Neville Ying. He was board chairman for some 25 years. And since then we've had Mr. Brian Benitisi, and it was fortuitous that he became chairman when he did, because he's from I like to say he's from cyberspace. So he understands very clearly where we need to go in terms of where the world is going in terms of technology and communication and that sort of things. We have to have very secure facilities. We have to have our vaults, and we have to have cameras, and we have to make sure that papers do not get into the hands of persons in the public before the exams are written. So that's a huge responsibility, and I have to commend the staff of the OEC over the years, because they have to interact with these papers, and we have to rely heavily on their integrity to ensure that the papers are preserved, and that when the papers are opened on the day of the examination or the days of the examination, that nobody had previously seen these questions. So kudos to the staff over the years.
You know, in this digital age, you probably hear CXC talking about online testing. What that means is the way examinations are proctored in Jamaica, that has to change in a dramatic way. And overseas exam, being the institution that is charged with leading all of that, has to be prepared. And we have been preparing for the last 5 or 6 years to do this. As a matter of fact, in preparing for that change, we have donated, I think, somewhere in the region of 3,500 computers to high schools across Jamaica. And that investment is in excess of $400 million, and that is expected to continue.
After more than 135 years of service, the Overseas Examinations Commission remains true to its mission of providing educational services with integrity, reliability, innovation, and efficiency.
With the world constantly spinning, we often forget to stop and smell the roses. Each parish in Jamaica has a strong history that should be explored. Summer is coming up, which means it's time to take trips with our family, your family, to explore these scenes. Not sure where to start? How about in St. Catherine?
When you hear the names of places like Old Harbour, Spanish Town, Bogwalk, what is the one thing that they all have in common? They are in the parish of St. Catherine, and St. Catherine is my parish. It's my home, and it is also the home of Jamaica's first free black community, Sligoville, the third longest river, Rio Cobre, and some of the oldest bridges. The historic cast iron bridge is 81 feet long and 15 feet wide. It was built in 1801 and is said to be the oldest of its kind in the Western Hemisphere. Today we take a look at some of the things St. Catherine has to offer, so join us on our journey through this historic parish.
Beach are the best community. Fish them proper, everything that's good. Original fish you have over here, no bomb fish. We large here, extra large. We quick shot over here,
We're in the farming district of Colbeck, visiting the Colbeck Castle. Though the castle is just in ruins, the walls still stand. So let's take a journey through it. The origins of Cobec Castle are shrouded in mystery. There is very little reference to it in the early records, but it is believed to have been built at the end of the 17th century when Jamaica was seized by the British. Cobec Castle is among the oldest plantation houses in Jamaica.
Milpen Poros, one already, two alright.
That may not have been their exact words, but all were aboard this very station waiting to travel either east or west of the island via the Old Harbour train station. Today, this Georgian-style structure, though broken, still stands and the train still traverses its tracks, carrying Jamaica's precious commodity, bauxite. But that one shipment of bauxite moved from Old Harbour and passes through the historically shaped Spanish Town, then onto the famous Aki Commerce area of Linstead. By now you would have probably figured out where we are. We are at the Flat Bridge, and I read that the Flat Bridge is sometimes called the 16-mile walk. Why, you may ask? That's probably because in the 1700s, the 16 plantations surrounding the Bogwalk area had to send 1 in every 50 slaves to work on the river road. Before there was the highway, whenever the Rio Cobre overflowed its banks, motorists had to travel through Sligoville, the same Sligoville that was the first free black community in Jamaica.
Sligoville is a community that is made up of some smaller communities, but Sligoville is the hub. Sligoville is the base where most of the historical activities took place. We are standing on one of the 30 acres of land that were distributed as free villages. That is once a house that is supposed to be using from those days. But what happened is that during slavery, the slave master would live up on the top part, and below it, they have a little cultivation for the slave. It has all the attributes of a house being used at that time, because they have wackland, daub, and things like those. So it's one of the old-time houses.
So guys, what you've just seen is just a little bit of St. Catherine's history. The parish has a lot more to offer. So gas up, gear up, go on go the road now.
We are at the end of today's show, but be sure to join us again tomorrow for another lineup geared towards providing you with information on the government's policies and initiatives for building a better Jamaica. In the meantime, visit our website, jis.gov.jm, and catch us on YouTube or connect with us on our social media. On behalf of the entire team here at the GIS, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Thank you so much for watching, and see you soon.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.